Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
Good afternoon and welcome to Community Conversations. My name is Vicki Soulé and I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. And for those of you that may be listening to us for the first time, no, we're not going to talk just about health issues because health is so interconnected in everything that we do to have a great life, as we call it, in paradise here in Indian River County. So yes, if you're new to town and or you do not have a primary care physician, a pediatrician, dentist, behavioral health specialist, and you would like to have services, we take all kinds of insurances, just about every insurance except maybe a little one out of Podunk, Alaska, as well as provide for Medicaid, Medicare, and a sliding fee scale discount for those that do not have insurance or those that have very high deductibles. So again, we're not just for poor people, we are for everyone. Healthcare for all has been our motto for this 30 years that we're celebrating this year. So part of the things that we do on this radio show is bring to light some of the wonderful organizations that we collaborate with to make healthcare services more basic for everyone, understandable for everyone, and available for everyone through the many resources that we do have in this community. So today I'm pleased to have a friend of mine. Shannon and I go back more than a few years. Back to when she was in the Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative, and now she is the leader of Literacy Services of Indian River County. So welcome.
Oh, thank you, Vicki.
Yeah,
so
you
nice
went away for
here.
a little while, didn't you?
I did. I moved up north for a year, but like you said, this is paradise. So
why would we live up in snow country, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
1 year up north, and here we are back.
Yeah, and you know, I always saw the passion that you had to get children at an early age prepared for kindergarten. But literacy services is for all ages or primarily adults?
We do adult literacy, so you need to be ages 16 or up to get our services.
Okay, but clearly you have a passion for people learning how to read.
I really do. And with my work previously, we always helped parents learn how to read or connected them to literacy services, which we have offices across the hall in Fellsmere. But literacy has always been a passion of mine. Since I was in about 5th grade, I started tutoring, helping the gal next to me with homework, and then later being a paid tutor throughout high school and college and working at a university tutoring center.
Wow.
So
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, that's a little trivia fact.
I thought maybe you went into teaching and decided to focus more on the one-on-one.
I've always seen that power of, being able to take something and explain it in a way that other people can understand. So a lot of my tutoring was math tutoring. And, for some people, it looked like a completely different language, but by being able to explain it, break it down, you could see that light bulb turn on.
And there's nothing more exciting.
I love it. And so you're absolutely right. It's so exciting. And now that's what, as an organization, that's what we do. We help people learn English. We also do help with math and GED, career prep, citizenship. But we have 150 volunteer tutors.
Wow.
Out of the kindness of their heart, help our students.
That's phenomenal.
It's fantastic. And they get those light bulb moments where the students, all of a sudden, it makes sense.
Yes. So I guess I have to ask for clarification.
Sure.
So literacy services does more than English as a second language.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. All these years I've been here and I didn't understand.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe I should zoom out. So Literacy Services of Indian River County, we've been around for over 50 years serving adults. It all started when some concerned citizens here went to a training in Melbourne. It was the Lawbach training. And they learned about the adult literacy epidemic. excuse me, they learned ways to help people learn how to read, how to identify things, how to remove barriers, and how to take away the shame and the guilt if someone maybe didn't get what they needed during school because they had other priorities or life had different plans for them. So that's how the organization started with the founders. And as it has evolved over time, the need has become a little bit different here in our community. So we primarily serve people who English is their second or third or fifth language. About 90% of our students, that's the case. They're ESL students. And about 10% of our students are native English speakers who maybe just didn't learn to read and write, or maybe want to improve those skills.
Well, we know now we're adding to our knowledge base every day. But now through the work of the Moonshot Community Action Network, or MCAN, you know, the whole science of how an adult turns out is dependent on what they're able to learn very, very early on.
Exactly.
And so for many adults, if they didn't get that through no fault of their own, maybe they didn't attend often enough, maybe they had a visual learning problem where they couldn't see, but they thought they could. I always use the comparison that, you know, if a child has a toothache, it might be puffy, it might be sore, they don't eat. There's lots of signs and signals that something's going on in their mouth, but with their eyes, not so much. Every once in a while, a teacher will, you know, astutely pick up that the child is squinting, or, you know, they run them through the dyslexia thing, and it's not that. So why are they slow in picking up reading skills? And so those folks, just as we said, get passed on and passed on and passed on. And so as adults, the reading level is still very primitive, I'll say. And so those are the folks then that probably are able to come to you for tutoring, for assistance. And as you say, there's no shame in that. I learn something new every day.
Same here. And I still have to constantly look up words on my phone that I hear, like, what does that mean? I look at vocabulary, some sort of vocab, and like, I don't understand.
Exactly.
So we have a lot of people that, they may have graduated from high school, or maybe didn't graduate from high school, and
life gets in the way.
It
Sometimes
really
you
does.
have to work before you get done with school.
Exactly.
Just the way it is.
And I even, from my own personal experience, I'm a first generation college student. And so my dad has two siblings. They both got their GEDs. My dad graduated from high school. His mom got her GED later in life when I was young. So I've watched how education is important and how it can affect people's lives, and just seen firsthand, that difference, and how proud my grandma was when she got her GED, and how that changed her life. It changed her career potential, and her income potential, and her confidence level. And then I saw how one of her siblings didn't go that route, and she needs help balancing her checkbook sometimes, which is something that some folks take for granted. And so just recognizing all the different levels of education, and how it makes a huge difference in people's lives.
And it's never too late.
Never too late. Right before I left the office, we had one of our tutors came in and thinks that his student maybe has some sort of tracking issue, like you said, with the eyes. You don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
And that particular student is in their 70s. And came
Very
to
possible.
get our services. So
that's wonderful.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So it's like you're
On
never
both
too
parts.
old, never too young.
And you offer that assistance to try to figure out why is learning more difficult than it needs to be.
Exactly. And that's what we're working on, our referral base. We already have a list, but we're making that more robust so that we can send people to Treasure Coast Community Health.
Which now has optometry services.
Yay! So that we can see what's going on. And we train our tutors and constantly provide, one-on-one support when they need it. Also do monthly in-services to bring different resources, so that if they do notice something or have questions, like we're here, we have an education specialist. She might have a different title, but we have someone who's charge of education to support the tutors. And then we also have a team in charge of the students so that they can support the students. Both of those staff members are bilingual in Spanish because 85% of our students speak Spanish. That
doesn't surprise me.
No.
Since we still see, actually this past year we saw more people register with us as migrant and seasonal farm workers. So I appreciate the referrals because, again, these folks put in some really long hours, and being able to take care of their health so that they can support themselves and their family is really important to us.
Is so essential.
Yeah.
And if we don't take care of our own health, how can we be there for everybody else? But with all the demands of work and parenting and stress, paying bills, and it makes it very challenging.
I had no idea. 150 different tutors. Does that go up a little bit during the winter season?
And so we do have some seasonal tutors. And then we also have some folks who use Zoom. So even while they're up north or wherever they travel to, they can still meet with their students. And these 150 volunteers, out of the kindness of their heart, spend their time with our students. And last year we had 256 adult literacy students that we were able to serve, and we hope to serve at least that many this year. And the services we provide are free. So if you come to our office,
we should have led with that.
Yeah,
this is free.
That's really important. Yes, the tutoring is free. We provide free workbooks. Thanks to our generous donors and funders and grants, we're able to give the students the workbook to write in. And then the tutors, we ask if they don't write in it or just lightly use it, then we recycle it for another tutor.
Excellent. So I'm going to ask one last question. We're both watching the clock so we don't lose out on a word from our sponsors, conscientious gals that we are. But you don't have to be a teacher to be a tutor. Is that what I'm hearing?
Not at all. You don't need any teaching experience to be a tutor. You just need to be ages 16 or up and have about 1 to 3 hours a week to invest your time. We do trainings as to introduce you to the concepts, and then we provide the materials, let you know what this particular student might need, and then support you along the way as much as you need or as little as you need. So it's a really meaningful experience.
And I'll bet once you engage a tutor and give them that training, you have a good couple of years of their help, don't you?
Typically, yes. We're so grateful that most of our tutors stay with us for a long time, and the stories that we hear about the bonds that they've built, about the way that people's lives have changed, both the students and the tutors, just, being that empathy and not recognizing barriers that some people might face, and it just
makes us a
little misty-eyed.
It gives us a much closer community that way as well. So you're building a lot of bridges, not just in literacy. But hang on, we are going to take a word from our sponsors before we get into overtime here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hang tight with us. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day.
At Sunshine Furniture, we've been the outdoor furniture experts for over 30 years and carry the largest selection of patio furniture, all made in America. Hundreds of styles, colors, and fabrics to choose from in outdoor wicker, aluminum, and recycled plastic from Lloyd Flanders, Hollywood, Berlin Gardens, O.W. Lee, Windward, Woodard, Telescope, and others, all made to withstand our Florida climate, in stock and ready for you to enjoy. Right now, we're having a spring sale on selected groups, and also all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. We also specialize in replacement cushions, umbrellas, beach chairs, outdoor rugs, and fire pits. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1, Vero Beach, next to Planet Fitness. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. sunshine.
Is owning a home your goal? With the rising cost of rent, you could be saving a lot of money by owning your own home. At Caliber Home Loans, we can help make homeownership a reality. Meet with us for a free consultation and get on the right path to buy the home of your dreams. For Caliber, home loans is all we do. We use local appraisers and offer a variety of loan options to fit your lifestyle and budget. Call us today, 844-GO-CALIBER, license number CHL 15622, Caliber Home Loans, TreasureCoast.com.
For those tired of staring at laundry as it piles up, the answer is usually putting it off as long as possible. For most, there's not just another minute to squeeze into a day to get the laundry done. Sunshine Laundries can help. This is Tom Rhodes, owner of Sunshine Laundries, with a reminder that 5 of our locations offer drop-off service. We'll wash, dry, and fold. For locations and hours, we're at sunshinelaundries.com, and with laundromats all along the Treasure Coast.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, where we provide primary care, one-stop shopping, all the conveniences that you could imagine, whether it's for a child, for an adult, for someone who's an adult turning into a child, even as we all age. It gets to be less funny. In any event, today we're talking with one of our great collaborators, and that would be Shannon Maitland, who is now with the Literacy Services. I knew her when she was at kindergarten readiness, but as she explained to us, you know, you don't have to be a teacher. You just have to love seeing that light bulb spark, being confident enough to think of different words to help people understand, and going forward. So you've done a great job there in the short time you've been there.
Thank you.
Half a year?
Since December, so 4 or 5 months now.
Snow got to be too much, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome back, Shannon. That's all I can say.
Oh, I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be part of Literacy Services. It's just such a wonderful organization with a long history, lots of wonderful partners.
Well, and lots of wonderful volunteers.
Amazing
I had no idea that we had so many that were willing to step up. 1 to 3 hours a week certainly seems very doable. And if you are still a snowbird or going back to being a snowbird during the summer months, Zoom works for that as well.
It does. Zoom, or if you're not comfortable with Zoom, some of our tutors even do sessions by the phone. I guess one of the most important things I should mention is that we customize our services based on the student's needs. So depending on why the student walks in our door, they might want to learn how to read a book to their child, or read a menu, or talk to their doctor without an interpreter. They might want to become U.S. citizens or pass their GED, or perhaps they want to study career-focused language so that they can get a promotion or get a job. So we really customize the tutoring based on exactly what the student needs, and which I just think is fantastic. So we're not just checking boxes. Exactly. And so then the tutors and the students work together to coordinate, and we, based on our large amount of books and resources online, find exactly what they need.
That's amazing. Again,
so they can tutor.
A misperception I had, when I hear about, for example, English as a second language classes, I envision, 15 people sitting in a high school type classroom, all learning I don't know, how to conjugate verbs or something. I mean, very, very standardized English classes like you would get in 4th or 5th grade. But we don't all need that, even when we're learning a different language from English.
You're right. And we do conjugate some verbs. And we do have some group sessions. So the majority of our tutoring is one-on-one. But like you're envisioning, we do have some classes or drop-in sessions or even Zoom sessions where there's a group of students and an instructor or tutor. And some of them are more focused and follow books. Others, like our conversation club, the students can just, they to connect with the tutor, but they can come and go when they're available. I got to attend that, and the Laura Riding Jackson Foundation was nice enough to let us use their space downtown.
Oh, how nice.
And it's very comfortable, so they're comfy chairs, and everyone sat, and we just kind of went around and talked, but just having that practice. So some people just being conversational is their goal, which is why talking on the phone is okay, to do tutoring sessions.
You brought it full circle.
Thanks.
Great job. So are most of your classes then around the county or in Fellsmere, since that's where...
Both. So yes, so we serve Fellsmere. We have an office in the old schoolhouse, which is now the city administration building.
Okay.
We also have an office in Sebastian at the library and at Vero, the main library in Vero Beach. So I guess I should thank Indian River County. Thank you for letting us use that space. It helps so many people, and it's so convenient. The library always refers folks to us. We refer them there. We help people get library cards. So it's a beautiful partnership that, from what I understand, has been happening since the beginning of the organization. So thank you, library.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you, tutors. I think it's just amazing. As you talk about these different things, my brain is crinkling little fireworks inside, thinking about, I've heard others talk about, I have the time, but, I was a specialist in XYZ, and who wants to learn about that? But you actually match up the interests of the tutors or the experience or education of them versus the people that have something specific in mind as well.
We do. So during our intake process, we ask the tutors questions, we ask the students questions, and then we have a team member that's her specialty, is she tries to match people up the best. So if we had someone who is interested in history, and then we have someone who maybe was a retired history professor, or someone who likes science, like we try to match them up together based on what they tell us. And usually the first match is great. Sometimes it's not a good fit, and then they'll come back to us and we'll match, the student with somebody else and the tutor with somebody else.
So is there an average length of stay sort of that your students have?
So that's a great question. That was one of my first questions as well. And of course the answer is, it depends. It depends on the needs of the student. And so sometimes if it's, learning how to write a text message or an email, that might be done in a couple months. Sometimes it's studying for the U.S. citizenship exam, which can take years. What we've also found is that we have a lot of students that will complete a goal, and then they feel so empowered. Yes, they'll set another goal. So I had the pleasure of talking with one of our students who's been on and off with us for 7 years. Nice. And when she first started with us, she didn't speak very much English, didn't quite understand a lot of English yet. She was new here. So when she was in the hospital giving birth to her child, guess what? She didn't understand what was being asked of her. So her entire stay, she didn't eat.
Oh, no.
She couldn't read the menu. Oh. And so...
That breaks my heart.
Can you imagine, especially as someone in the medical world, I think how hungry she would have been and trying to, take care of her baby.
Yes.
And so she shared this story with us recently that then when she had her next child...
Talk about a motivator.
Yes. She could read next time, so she was able to order off the menu. And I mean, just things like that we might not even think about that could be a barrier.
We just assume that everything is fine. We all set up translation services, but sometimes that initial inquiry, do you need translate? We're talking in English. Do you need a translator?
Right. I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's tricky because most folks aren't accustomed to speaking up. It's just you kind of go with the flow.
But culturally, not every woman is raised that way.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And
so it's a wonderful service, and I want to say again, it's free. It's free. So
it's free.
if someone listening was interested in being a tutor,
yes,
how do they get a hold of you?
You can call our office. It's 772-778 2223. You can come to our office at the Vero Beach Library, the Sebastian Library, or Fellsmere, the old schoolhouse. You can also go on our website, literacyservicesirc.org. We're also part of the National Literacy Directory, which is funded by Dollar General and Pro Literacy.
Really?
So we would love to have you as a tutor, or if you don't have time to tutor, but you're interested in sponsoring or donating to our cause, we would love to accept your donations as well.
Thank you so much for being with us. And those of you that are still out there in the listening audience, please tell your friends. They may not understand English, but if you yourself are bilingual, even if it's just a little, please pass the word on that Shannon and her team are here to help with the tutors. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Vicki.